Hello, you crazy cats and kittens out there in pod person land. Welcome back to another episode of For the Love of Movies. I'm your host, Sean Faw, and today we're going to be talking about In the Heights. Yeah, In the Heights. So this was a little better than expected, but it does go on for way too long. I mean, normally I just hate Lin-Manuel Miranda in general, so this wasn't really any exception either, though, especially with his stupid face and that stupid fake beard the whole time. But most of the rest of the movie wasn't actually that bad, as long as you can kind of forget about the parts where he's on screen.
We had to assert our dignity in small ways. Little details that tell the world we are not invisible.
So first off, the story is being told as a story to children. So already it's a much more acceptable premise for a musical than most of his shit is.
In a faraway land called Washington Heights. Say it so it doesn't disappear.
Washington Heights!
But then, get this, like the style of music is actually appropriate for the time and place. I mean, I know, who would have thunk it? Like, just put elements together that are complementary to each other instead of actively working against each other or actively working against your script.
Lights up on Washington Heights, up at the break of day. I wake up and I got this little punk I gotta chase away. Pop the grate at the crack of dawn, sing while I wipe down the awning. Hey, good morning.
In fact, I thought the music in this works so well that this is probably the only time that I had wished a movie had cut out all of the talking and was really just purely music and singing. I mean, also, I really would have liked to see a lot more of the background music incorporated into the scene, though, much more like the Blue Man Group style. They played with this concept a bit here, and mostly they did it in the beginning and kind of sprinkled sparsely throughout, but it was just pretty scarce for a movie that was supposed to be about like the music of the city. They kind of abandoned that idea a little too easily, in my opinion.
Washington Heights.
Like the street lights, we taking the flight to a couple of days in the life for what it's like in Washington Heights.
But the story itself is essentially about the gentrification of what was a fairly close-knit community and them coming together in the neighborhood's final days during a summer blackout and a heat wave. There are a lot of intertwining subplots going on, but it really all just boils down to the plot structure of an end of high school final party movie. It's pretty much all just like friends moving away and last chances at the girl and summer jobs and pool parties.
It's the story of a block that was disappearing.
The genius is back!
Yo, here's your chance. Ask her out right now.
Hey!
There's something on your shirt.
Smooth operator, all damn.
It's mostly an ensemble cast sort of thing, though, so thankfully we don't have to put up with Miranda sticking his stupid face in front of the lens for more than just, short bursts. He does take a whole song for himself, but like running time-wise of the whole movie, that's probably a pretty good place to go to the bathroom, so, when he starts singing, you got some time there.
Ice cold piragua, cherry, strawberry, and just for today I got my mate.
The rest of the cast is mostly decent and charming enough, and the majority can even carry a tune. The main guy and his cousin are the most charming, and the ladies at the salon are pretty entertaining as well. And actually, for the most part, as long as people were singing, they were all pretty fine. But once they stopped singing and started talking, it really just like zapped all the fun and momentum out of everything. And that is partly an acting thing, certainly, but it almost feels way more like a directing choice or like even a writing decision. Like, I don't know, maybe they thought that if they made that part suck more, then it would make the music part seem better by contrast. I don't know, but I'm probably thinking about it way more than they did.
We all had a sueñito. And when it came to dreams, we had to keep scraping by.
Maybe this neighborhood's changing forever. Maybe tonight is our last night together, however.
I just want to see the whole world through her eyes.
But they did have these scenes where they would sing dialogue and it worked just fine. I don't know why they kept throwing a wrench in the works to try and stop the one thing that was actually successful in this movie. I don't know. Maybe they saw Cats and they decided that like the lack of talking was what made that movie a piece of shit. But I mean, I certainly that didn't help. But the problems were much deeper there for sure.
They used to say, You work hard, you live by the rules, the money will come, the things will come.
You ready?
I've been saving up all my pennies in my piggy bank for this day. Today's all we got!
Now visually, I would say that this was really well done for the most part. I mean, the choreography was fairly lacking in my uneducated dance opinion, but everything else was pretty nicely stylized. Lots of, free roaming, long steady cam shots on wide lenses that, sort of really give you the feel of being like just another Jenny from the block. And they really help to create this world that feels like larger than just what you see on screen at any one time.
Cannot stop, this is our block!
In the heights, I hang my flag on display.
Cheers.
It reminds me that
There was a bit too much ridiculous CGI, though. There was some of the effect stuff that did work okay, but a lot of the big moments I thought were just ruined by trying to slide too much of that fantastical stuff in. I mean, there was a solid base of a movie already. There was no need for all the extra frills that really added nothing.
I came from miles away.
This is crazy!
From miles to the heights.
The best days of my life. And I built my little dream, my sueñito.
In the heights, the late nights, you taste beans and
Here.
rice, the sun up a shade ice.
So overall, I would say it's probably a lot more watchable than some of his other stuff. And if you cut out about 30 minutes of the mostly talking scenes and did not try to get like weirdly heavy in what seemed like maybe the fifth act, it might be a fairly strong contender. But as it is, I think the mediocre and cringeworthy stuff in here holds back what is good enough to say that it won't be a huge hit or the awards contender that they were obviously hoping for. But I have pretty much been wrong, in my opinion, about everything Lin-Manuel Miranda has done. So, why change now?
Because you can see a future that I can't.
But we go, we wrap up people and then we go! You made all of this?
This is me.
Anyways, this has been Fa, the Love of Movies. I'm Sean Fa. We've been watching In the Heights. Yeah, I don't know. Make sure you like and comment and subscribe and check out all the other shows on the Fawcast Network. And just do that stuff. The button things. The algorithms like the buttons, so hit the buttons. Give it a thumbs up, a thumbs down. The robots don't care. They just like when you tickle the buttons. That's it. Anyway, bye. Later. Go watch a movie.
They're talking about kicking out all the dreamers. It's time to make some noise.